Balloon Beats.
What is going on, everybody? Welcome back to Unhinged Talk. You know the deal. I'm your host, Patrick Hennessy, joined tonight by Brandon Kramer. Hashtag shut up, Brandon. How are we doing tonight, Brandon?
Doing great. Just
I have one bad comment just to start out. I know we start off on a good note, but my internet is really bothering me tonight. It's I don't know if I'm lagging on your screen, but I on my screen I look like I'm in 1904 right now, and it's pissing me off. But as long as I'm good on your screen, that's all that matters. So tonight I want to talk about James McCann. Rumors recently came out that the Yankees were eyeing James McCann. I believe they're one of 5 teams in on him, with the Mets, a few other teams. I don't really remember who they are, but I don't know. This is the second free agent catcher so far this offseason that the Yankees have been linked to. First one was Yadier Molina. I know both of us are big fans of him, and I would love him in the Bronx. But I guess you could start off and let us know whether you think these rumors are credible, and whether or not you would even see McCann as being a fit in New York, unlike Brian.
I mean, just pushing the rumors aside, this would be a great deal. I mean, even before the White Sox had Yasmani Grandal, McCann was an all-star catcher doing really well. I think he hit above 300, showed some power. I mean, he's a good defender as well. I mean, he would be a great catcher and a great fit for the Yankees. I mean, I think right now what they're thinking about is they need some competition if you're going to spark. I mean, my thing is this. You get James McCann if you're replacing Gary Sanchez. You get Yadier Molina if you're doing a last-ditch effort to kick some fire under Gary's ass.
Yeah.
And get him to fix everything.
I agree 1,000%. I mean, because the way I look at it is exactly the same. Right now, Gary has nothing to light a fire underneath him. Clearly, the Yankees manager, Aaron Boone, is not doing that. And Gary has only regressed under him. We've talked about this all the time. He was better under Joe Girardi's tight, uptight attitude towards him that the Yankees hated. And he's only gotten worse since Joe left. So now that Gary doesn't feel any sort of pressure from anybody, because clearly he doesn't care what the media talks. He doesn't care what they say about him. So maybe if you bring in a guy like James McCann, it makes Gary feel like he has to work harder to keep his job. Because I don't think he really views Kyle Higashioka as that much of a threat right now. But if you bring in Yadier Molina, it's kind of on the flip side. It's more of Gary feels like he's fighting for his job, as well as having the veteran presence of one of the best catchers in the game. You know what I mean? So I think Yadier Molina would be the better fit just because of that. Now, like while James McCann can help Gary, I think Yadier Molina would be a better fit for that.
Yadier Molina is the mentor. James McCann is the guy that's going to replace you.
Yeah.
But I mean, with Joe Girardi, I mean, if you look back at that coaching staff, you had two great catchers in that coaching staff, Joe Girardi and Tony Pena. I mean, you had guys that knew how to catch, and I mean, I don't think there's anyone like that anymore. I mean, it's hard to. That's why catchers honestly are so good at managing, because they know everything, and not having that. Honestly, the best thing was maybe Eric Kratz. Hope anything he helped with, but I mean, I think McCann at this point, if you're gonna sign a catcher, I mean, go after Yadier Molina. I mean, love to have James McCann, but that James McCann thing just seems like you're giving up on Gary. And yes, he's been terrible, but I mean, I think he deserves one more chance. And I mean, if he can't improve with the veteran presence of Yadier Molina, then it's a
Then he's
lost
just
cause.
a lost cause.
But
Yeah,
I mean, I do agree with you. There's no competition. I think after 2017, he knew that his job was handed to him every year. That's what I think. There's not that spark. 2016, he was honestly every day he played well. He was pushing the Yankees towards a bigger goal. 2017, before, like in the beginning of the year, he knew he was the big star on that team. Up until then, Judge took over. But then when Gary comes back, everyone's like, okay, now you have the 1-2 punch of Gary and Judge. But ever since then, it's just been like he doesn't seem like he's motivated.
Like, but it's weird because as fans from the outside, right, we're saying that it doesn't look like Gary's motivated. However, if you talk to anybody within the Yankees organization, for some reason, they all say that Gary's work ethic is top notch. Now, I don't know even if it wasn't top notch, if they would say it wasn't top notch, but it seems like everyone always has good things to say about Gary Sanchez, that he works his ass off and whatnot. So at what point is it maybe just it's not a work ethic thing? Maybe it's just a mental thing, just like you said.
Mm-hmm. So I don't think it's something that you can put on like Boone or even anybody in the coaching staff. I mean, I just think at this point, like when shit gets tough, he kind of just like crumbles. I mean, yeah, there were times this season where when he hit like that grand slam against the Mets, he was like, "Oh, I proved everyone wrong." But then it's a straight nosedive.
No, but bro. Every big moment Gary had this season, and he had quite a few. Like, I'm not gonna put that past him. Gary had a lot of big home runs this season. I would say probably over 3. But it seemed like any time like one of those things happened, and we're like, all right, maybe this could like get the ball rolling for him. Next game, he would go like 0 for 5 with 5 strikeouts. It doesn't make sense. Maybe the Yankees need a therapist in the dugout. Maybe they need Rookie the Bat Dog. Back to that conversation. Bring Rookie the Bat Dog into the clubhouse. Have him be like a therapy dog. Perfect.
I mean, with Gary, I mean, the talent's there. I just think at one point is, I mean, but also one thing, if you bring in Yadier Molina, he'll teach him how to catch, because you look at just, I was watching, when we were watching the World Series, you look at like, especially how Will Smith caught the last out. It was Smith or Barnes. He sits back kind of like in the rocking chair and lets the ball come to him. Gary's going like
and
how many catchers interference is there? What is the record for most catchers interferences from the catcher's standpoint?
I have no idea, but all I know is like, if it was Will Smith behind the plate, like Will Smith isn't known as being a great defensive catcher. So I think that just says a lot as to how bad Gary Sanchez is behind the plate. Let me look at some comments.
It's just the receiving of it.
So let's see. Good evening, guys. I noticed Patrick posted the rumor about Carlos Santana and the Yankees. Is that like a backup plan? I believe Ryan Garcia in the chat wrote this article. I don't know if there's any rumors about this. I think it's more so him saying that the Yankees should pursue Carlos Santana. If they did pursue him, I would see it being like kind of like an Edwin Encarnacion situation. That's kind of the way I would look at it. Like a veteran hitter who would give you some solid at bats, wouldn't really play a huge role. But if he gives you production, that would be great. Hashtag 3P champ. Brandon, you were there for trivia. That was another solid win. 3 weeks in a row. What else could I say at this point? I'm kind of locked in, but just the usual Monday night for me. I think I want an elite defensive catcher as a backup because of the fact that I want a guy like Sanchez I want that guy when Sanchez needs days off. Yeah, I agree 1,000%, which blows my mind because I feel like if we got to ALDS Game 5, for example, and that elite defensive catcher is in the game, late in the game, Aaron Boone's just going to pull him for Gary Sanchez anyway. So what's even the point of having an elite defensive catcher if you're not going to let him catch the biggest moments of the game? And I'm not saying Kyle Higashioka is an elite defensive catcher, but he's better than Gary Sanchez. And he was pulled in ALDS Game 5. Sickening.
It's just.
Let's see.
At this point,
Ryan also says, I think Gary was the worst/best player for a 60-game sprint with the canceled games, benchings, and a limited sample size. Was a nightmare. Yeah, I mean, like we just said, Gary's like such a mental player. Like I'm not saying he's mental, but his game is so like mentally focused. And if one thing's off, Gary Sanchez is done. So with all the stuff that went into the season, between a week without games, a stupid amount of doubleheaders, all these different rules that went on, all the nonsense, all the picking up, stopping, I could definitely see that messing with Gary Sanchez's psyche. And that's why we need Rookie the Bat Dog. Let's see. He would either have 20 home runs in 60 games or stink. No in between. Yes, sir. Ski needed #Yankee.
But they're just going to say next season. The thing with Gary was he'd have a good take, and then the next pitch, he'll swing at a fastball above his damn temple. I mean,
bro, but it's like how we have not stopped talking about Gary Sanchez like for the past 6 months. Like the dude is an anomaly. I mean, you realize that who goes from like look at like even 2 years ago, bro. Gary Sanchez was arguably the best
MVP candidate.
MVP candidate. Like you went into the season saying that he was your MVP pick.
And I think before the season, you saw what he's done in that it gives you an honest chance. But I mean, it's at this point, it's just you don't know what you're gonna get with him, and I just gotta hope for the Yankees' sake that he can just turn it around because.
And Gary Sanchez.
It gets bad when Aaron Boone benches you. Aaron Boone does not bench people, but when Aaron Boone benches you, you know that he's fucking fed up.
But also, I mean, the thing is, let's not forget. The Yankees entering the 2018 season, they had Giancarlo Stanton, Aaron Judge, and Gary Sanchez as their top 3 hitters. There was talk that between those 3 guys, Gary Sanchez was the best pure hitter. Like, do you remember that? Because that was definitely the conversation that was going on. Let's see what George has to say. So are the rumors true that the Yankees and Dodgers talked about Ruiz? Well, the Yankees, excuse me for being ignorant, but who is Ruiz?
Is that their catching prospect?
Might be.
Because if it's their catching prospect, there is no way in hell the Dodgers are giving that guy up.
Yeah, and also I can't see the Yankees really trading for a prospect right now.
A prospect catcher, they got like 30,000 in their system. Yeah. I mean, we're 2 years away from Austin Wells coming up.
Yeah. Also rookie for MVP, bro. I mean, shout out to rookie, bro. I think I have gone like every episode the past few weeks, and I have not gone one show without mentioning Rookie the Bat Dog. Like he's a legend, bro.
We should bring him on the pod. Hopefully he comes on his first appearance and doesn't have to reschedule.
Yeah.
But no.
But yeah, no, Rookie the Bat Dog, great guy. We got Futai in the chat. Futai, you are an absolute legend because of the way you just roasted Para on trivia on Thursday. That was absolute. Oh no, wait, Friday? It was Friday.
Friday.
Yeah, Friday. Futai, you're a legend. Hoping Indians let go of Plesac due to the whole COVID thing during the season.
They won't.
Doubt it. Yeah, I doubt it. The only reason they got rid of Clevenger wasn't because wasn't he like he was making a lot of money.
He was at that point where they're like they didn't really need him because the Indians are like it's a factory of quality starting pitchers. They just keep coming through the organization. And I think with the emergence of McKenzie, that big skinny 6'5"
didn't he pitch against the Yankees?
He pitched against us. I think with the emergence
he was
of him,
trash, right? He had no control.
No, yeah, I think it was him, but it was his first playoff game. But I think with the emergence of him, they're like, you know what, we can actually get rid of Clevenger and not really go down.
Bro, they literally lost who? Kluber, Bauer. Bro, they had Bauer at one point too. Like, come on. But before I kind of keep talking about pitching here, I do want to introduce our very special guest tonight. We got Jalen in the chat, boys. Let's go. Round of applause for Jalen. Let's go. Mid-show acquisition.
What's up,
Jalen,
boys?
how are you doing tonight?
I'm doing great. I'm just got done doing some laundry.
How'd it go? Clean?
I feel like I'm getting interviewed like post game, like post-game laundry.
How'd it go?
It went really well. The machines were spinning, the way we expected them to, but we came up with a game plan and we executed. So
good. Now, what are your plans moving forward? So, what do you guys have in store for the future?
Well, I'm going back home on December 10th, so I want to get one more wash in before I leave, just to make sure. But yeah, no, we just have to stay prepared at all times.
We got Lonzo in the house. Do you guys remember the show?
Hashtag J Lonzo, hashtag warm cookies. That was a great show.
Great show.
That was one of our best.
Wait. Oh, here we go. Hashtag J Lonzo, hashtag warm cookies. No warm cookies tonight?
I was in a rush, so I couldn't get the warm cookies.
Yeah.
But I will say I can make a promise that if you tune in to Unhinged Live on Thursday, there will be warm cookies in attendance. I'm just throwing that out there.
Hashtag warm cookies, Chef Lonzo. Ryan says Unhinged New York has more mid-season acquisitions than the Yankees since 2019.
And 2018.
Yo, Ryan, ever since we gave him that little speech like last week, he has turned into the man with like the best one-liners ever. That's that kid into
thing. I help. Listen, I told you guys I should be manager of the Yankees. You see what I'm capable of.
And you're best friends with Lindor. Like, how do you get better than that?
You can't. You just can't do it.
No, you can't. You just can't. All right. So Victor wants to know, back to the serious side. Will Clint Frazier be a starter next year? No. Brett Gardner needs to play every day. He's the greatest of all time.
God, just someone needs to clip
going
that.
Past that.
We need someone to clip that and just hold it against you for like blackmail purposes.
No, but like obviously Clint Frazier needs to be the starter next season.
I honestly think he is. They would have re-signed Gardner at this point already, and I think Frazier proved that he fixed his defense. I mean, yes, at that point, right field was kind of thin and Gold Glove. They use advanced statistics, but yeah, Frazier should be the right fielder.
The right fielder.
I kind of got two comments I want to pull out here. Actually, no, we'll pull up three. Because we got some good comments now. King Rojo wants to know where you're from. I am from Queens. Bryn's from Manhattan. And Jalen is currently in Florida.
I'm from the best borough, though there is, Brooklyn, New York.
Worldwide. Yo, we almost cover every borough.
Yeah, but we know the best borough.
Brooklyn?
Just saying. Yes.
I mean, that's debatable, but I mean that's a topic for another episode, honestly.
Listen, we could do a whole episode on that if you'd like. We could make our whole lists and everything. So,
speaking of your most recent comment about Brooklyn being the best borough, how big is your head right now, Jalen?
Oh, it's huge.
Okay, just making sure.
I'm from Brooklyn. Our egos are naturally like inherently bigger.
What hat size?
7.5.
Yo, same.
Well, you have a big head too, though.
That's true. No, that's true. Not
but here's
for
the thing. It's like,
great.
But here's the thing. For me, it's like 7.5 is 7.5, 7.3/8, and 7.5/8 are like some of the most common fitted sizes. I collect fitted, so I was doing a little shopping for fitteds like a couple weeks ago on Empty Pockets, and
I saw Futai's comment. I'm sorry.
Futai, my man. Right, Gardner looks like Caillou and Cashman had a baby.
Bro, I literally during the postseason, I just started playing the Caillou theme when Gardner was at bat.
Each day I grow some more. I want to go back to LA Yankee King's comment from before. Very adamant about this. LA Yankee King is Yankees shouldn't sign DJ LeMahieu.
Okay,
and then do what instead?
Let's have this like. Let's present this like anyway, like we're going through court. So, do you have any evidence to why the Yankees would be better without DJ LeMahieu? I want to see this evidence because I've seen some people on Twitter throw out ideas of Nicky Lopez, a guy that's never hit above 200 in his entire life.
Who the fuck? Wait, Brendan, I'm the jury. I need some context. Who the fuck is Nicky Lopez?
Exactly, that's my.
I was going along with it.
That sounds like a kid I used to play like high school baseball against.
Exactly. I think it's an infielder for the Royals.
Wait, is that kid from the Bronx who's on the Orioles?
No, that's that's
He has a
that's
similar name.
He does, and that dude I remember because that dude was the same height as you.
All right, why are we taking shots? Fuck.
I don't know, but his name. Okay, I gotta look this up. But anyway, as I was saying, the only way, let's say the Yankees don't get re-sign DJ LeMahieu, which they will, you need to at least replace him. You can't replace DJ LeMahieu, but you need someone kind of close, maybe not close. I mean,
you can replace DJ.
You can.
You don't want to.
Anyone?
You don't want to, and you won't replace him to the same level. But you can. He's not fucking Mike Trout. Like,
listen, the only guy replacing him with though is Lindor. That's it.
Yeah.
I agree, but I'm saying, okay, DJ is great, and he's had a great 2 years, and he's been our most valuable player for sure. He's been our most consistent. He's great in the field. However, he's going to be 33. He's going to get paid a lot of money, and the things he does are not so. It's not like he's like some insane talent that we've never seen before, or like we have to secure this guy because nobody can do what he does. There's people that can do what he does. He's just been so consistent in the past 2 years, and we're not used to that because we have guys like Judge, we have guys like Garrett, we have guys like Stanton, Luke Voigt, etc., Glaber, who they're very streaky. So we see a guy like DJ who kills with runners in scoring position, is always dependable to give you a good at bat. You look at an at bat like the end of the ALCS last year, where it was like a 10, 12 pitch at bat, and we were all watching that nervous, but I feel like we all kind of knew he was going to do something. But I will say, like, there are people around it at least.
I mean, but
I love Andrelton Simmons. I'm just going to put that out there. He's not DJ.
He's not.
I love
DJ,
him.
though.
He's not DJ. Yeah. He's not anywhere close. But he's a wizard in the field. He hits for contact. And I think he would be a good addition. I think DJ should also be resigned, but
just pause for 1 second. Is that a Jolly Rancher, Jalen?
No, they're Smarties.
Oh, ew. All right.
Our lobby was giving them out. So
is it like Halloween?
They're a little
late.
You guys
celebrate Halloween like now? Yeah, it's like a month. Yeah.
Florida's always off.
Go on, Brandon.
Well, LA Yankee King says LeMahieu will be 33 and will want $25 million per year over 5 years.
That's not true.
Well, that's what his agent wants, but what reporters
over 5. Okay, I got it.
LeMahieu says he will take a pay cut and a shorter deal to stay with the Yankees. So yeah, I said if DJ wants $25 million, I would not pay him $25 million over 4 or 5 years. But I think if you can get him for maybe the low between 20 and 22 million for like 3-4 years, you do that. But if you're saying that I'm going to
give my contract prediction. 4 years. What's 4 times 22? 88?
Yeah.
That's a perfect deal.
4 years, $88 million.
I said 492 just because I think he's going to want to get over a 90 mil. But he's not going to get 100 over.
He cares about that stuff.
No, he doesn't, but his agent does. So I think DJ's the kind of guy that's just letting his agent, like DJ's going to say, listen, I want to be in New York. I want to get between 18 and 28 mil. Get me a deal in New York for 3 to 5 years in that ballpark. And the agent's going to push as hard as he can. But I think everyone knows that DJ wants to come back to New York. It's just a matter of the agent and Cashman playing hardball. But yeah, I don't really necessarily agree that you're going to have to trade Aaron Judge or Gleyber Torres because you're signing LeMahieu. I think there's this whole we talk about this almost every time we get on live. It's like we have this misconception about the Yankees that they just like can't afford people. It's crazy,
because that's what they portray to the
world. Right. But it's like they absolutely don't need to do that. If the Yankees have 2 World Series rings when Judge and Gleyber's contracts come up, and they're like both perennial All-Stars and MVP candidates and like integral parts of the lineup, the Yankees will pay them. Like there's not a question about that. The only person, we talked about this when Gary was still like someone we considered one of the better hitters, everyone was like, there's going to be someone they're not going to pay. Not because they couldn't afford it, but just because they want to have flexibility, especially for pitching. And we all pretty much agreed Gary was going to be the guy that was going to be let go because we have more catching depth in the minors. Anthony Siegler, we just drafted Austin Wells. Kyle Higashioka is a monster, is a complete stud. To you guys, at least.
Tenured Yankee right now.
Listen, I don't.
No, he's actually not. He's actually not in Major League. I was actually.
It was in Major League. In Major League, it's Severino. But like overall, I think he's been in our organization for like 10 years.
Yeah.
Yeah.
But
he's like 31.
Bad, though.
Yeah, but he's not the guy I want starting catching on a World Series contending team.
He's literally
he's a perfect backup catcher.
He's a perfect backup. He's a good defender. Like pitchers love throwing to him, and anything else you get from the bat is a added bonus. But
which is what we saw at the end of the year last year. It was an added
exactly. Bonus. But with, as you've said, like you do not overpay for DJ LeMahieu. Some Yankee fans will start throwing fits when you hear that, but like
I disagree, Brandon. I disagree 1,000.
What's an overpay? What's an overpay for him?
I'm talking about if he wants $25 million plus.
Okay, wait.
Okay, give him that?
Now, but now you got me. Now you got Pat. Now you got Pat heated. Hashtag Pat rant in the chat.
Wait,
no, Brandon, just give me a second. Brandon, give me a second. Brandon, just give me a second. When we're looking at the Yankees, I look at 2 players on that roster. There's only 2 players who I would overpay for, and that's Garrett Cole and DJ LeMahieu. Those are 2 players that you overpay for. That's the bottom line. I would give DJ LeMahieu anything that man wants. At the end of the day, it's not our money. We shouldn't care what the hell he gets.
Also, they're not really overpaying because, like we kind of talked about, like I did say he was replaceable, but I don't mean that DJ's the kind of guy when he's on your team, he's such a valuable piece where it's like whatever you pay him, he's worth it. Like you want that guy in your lineup, you want that guy in your clubhouse. He's so reliable. Like there's a reason why he calls him call machine. So like people said we overpaid for Garrett Cole. There's no like unless you literally paid this guy $1 billion, you're not overpaying because.
But that's what I'm saying.
He's earning his contract. The amount of money that the guy brings in.
Overpaying Mike Trout. Like there's no such thing as that, especially when it's not your own money. Like who cares?
Yeah,
like,
I mean,
DJ LeMahieu's the best hitter in baseball.
There's no cap.
No cap.
No, like that's not what I
meant. No cap.
I mean,
but yeah, go on, Brandon, because I kind of interrupted you because I got hashtag Patrick ranted.
In a way, you do kind of have to draw a line. I mean, if he's asking 26, 27, like 28, that's when you're like, all right, you might want to, because
I would still give it to him.
But over how many years?
Bro, I mean, if DJ asked for 5 years, $150 million, I would be okay with giving him that.
Okay, would you give him 6?
How old is he?
33.
He'll be 33 this year.
I'd give him 5 with an option.
See, my thing is I'm not really concerned about the money. My thing is the years, right? So I don't want them going. I would give DJ 5 years as well, but I would be very hesitant to do that if I was the Yankees because think about it. You could genuinely get a similar type value for so much less money. And then, yes, you're going to be having a little bit of a drop-off as far as offensive production.
You won't,
but then you could – I'm saying if you – so, like, say you let DJ walk, you sign Andrelton Simmons for, like, 1-in-1 deal, club option or player option, whatever it is, and, like, $10 million each year. So 2 years, $20 million. You save almost $17, $18 million and way more than that in the long run. And then you can sign like a 3-level starter, or you have more money to put towards your shortstop next year. Like you just have a lot more flexibility.
No, I understand. I understand where you're coming from.
I'm just not as opposed to the money as much as I am the years, just because that difference is a big difference.
No, I get it. But also, listen, I get the reasoning behind, like, Andrelton Simmons would be so much cheaper than DJ LeMahieu. Yeah. But the thing is, we're not talking about replacing, like, Gleyber Torres. Because as much as I love Gleyber Torres, he's much more replaceable than DJ LeMahieu. When I look at DJ LeMahieu, that is, in my eyes, the best hitter in Major League Baseball. And you look at, like, his past 2 years, these aren't anomalies. Like, he has been a consistent hitter throughout his entire career. Like, there's no Coors Field effect with DJ LeMahieu. So my reasoning behind this is there's no player in the Yankees lineup that is more irreplaceable than DJ LeMahieu.
Here's
I think
what-
we talked about this too and kind of agreed on it as well, like in previous episodes.
I'll disagree with you a little bit just because it depends on how you look at it. Like DJ in the next 3 to 4 years is probably our most irreplaceable person, right? However, someone like Glaber, we talked about this before when we talked about the Lindor trade possibilities. Glaber is going to be 20. He's not even 24 yet, and I think
Okay.
someone like that, you want to make sure you're very sure what you're getting in return if you are to trade him.
I'm not saying trade Glaber.
No, I'm just saying, like, as far as
Yeah.
replacing him, like, if you were to trade Glaber, you're only going to get back Lindor, maybe like a Trevor Story type player. Like, you're not trading Glaber to make room for DJ. Does that make sense? Like,
Yeah, no, that makes sense.
because of what he has shown he could be and what he might possibly turn into. I think his value as far as like replacement is a little bit higher just because of his potential, his untapped potential.
No, sure. And here's the thing, though. I mean, Torres is 24. I would never take DJ over Torres, but I'm
Right.
I'm throwing age aside here. I'm talking like
You're thinking
the way
short
I picture
term.
it- Yeah, exactly.
Yeah,
I
I get
picture
you.
it in my head. I'm thinking Game 7 of the World Series. Who do I want up in like the Astro situation in the 2019 ALCS? Did we really want Andrelton Simmons up in that situation?
No, I'm with you. Short term, he's absolutely the most valuable player on this team. It's just like, is he going to still be the most valuable player on this team when he's 39, 38 years old?
Yeah.
So
That's
do you
why-
want to be paying a 39-year-old who may be hitting 260 and playing very lackadaisical defense? I'm not saying that'll be the case because you never know how he's going to age, but it's very rare that a 39-year-old is still going to be a Gold Glove defender and putting up the same offensive production. And you're going to be paying him $26 million a year.
4 years, I think, is the perfect spot. 4 years, fifth year I would say honestly, fifth year club option that the team can decide on, because you'll see year 1, year 2, he probably won't drop off. Then year 3 and 4 is when you're like, okay, let's see. And then if he's still performing at a high
He'll
level,
get
you
5.
pick up that. I think he'll get 4 years with honestly the fifth year option. You could get 5 with. I think if they go 5, you're not going to have a sixth.
I think he'll get something like, the Yankees don't like doing player or club options, or they like club options more, but they like doing this thing called vesting options. So it's more incentive based, and like, so if DJ plays a certain amount of games and has a certain amount of
what they do with Hap,
like hits,
so they can manipulate it.
It's a little bit more difficult with hitters, but I think you could see something like that just to make sure he's still durable and make sure he's still productive. And then if he is in that last year, in that 4th year, the 5th year will automatically click. Which I'd be okay with that, because that means he's still productive. So you get him for that 5th year.
I mean, the good thing, I think, now seeing one of the comments saying Gleyber Torres can't be a shortstop. Yeah, he's been terrible defensively, but he has the luxury of something called practice. So that's something you can easily. Yeah, the range is not. He does not have the range that Didi or Simmons, or even no one has the range of Francisco Lindor. But I mean, I think a lot of things what we saw this
You
season.
can't even
with
say his
Gleyber Torres,
name without Jalen blushing.
a lot of things we saw this year with Gleyber Torres defensively was he was messing up the easy plays, the plays that he had too much time to, in a way, overthink for. That stuff can be easily fixed. He's not like Miguel Andujar, who has so many things wrong with him, you can't fix it. I mean,
yeah, I'm just gonna disagree with you, because I agree with you on the fact that I think Gleyber can be a good fielder. He's shown that before. I don't think he's going to be a good shortstop. It has nothing to do. His age has nothing to do with it, because, like, people compare him and Andujar, him and Clint, as far as like guys that came up and were not good defensive players, right? They have reasons for that. Clint was not a good outfielder because of his concussion issues. He was all in his head. Once that got cleared up, you saw what he was capable of. Like, he was a Gold Glove finalist. So there was like an actual solution to Clint's issues. He did a lot of work, of course, but yeah, exactly. And like, he worked his ass off, and he got rid of that whatever was going on in his head. Miguel Andujar has terrible footwork. He has terrible footwork. He doesn't know how to throw the ball overhand. He has no instincts, and his baseball IQ is not good. Gleyber's problems are fundamentally, like, he just doesn't have the athleticism to play the shortstop position at the major league level. I'm not saying that he won't or like above average at least. I don't think that he's going to be a terrible, like the worst shortstop ever known to man, but he doesn't have range, doesn't have a strong arm, he doesn't have the IQ to play that position. He'll be a good second baseman.
Yeah.
And I think that'll make room for Francisco Lindor.
Exactly.
Brandon, you look like you want to address this comment.
Yeah. Please go ahead.
So, LA Yankee King says, and with injuries that Judge has sustained, you're going to have to move him to first base, which takes first base away from DJ. And Torres would be at second, DJ and Gio at third, and DJ cannot play shortstop where DJ fits.
Can we invite him on the pod? I want to talk to him.
All right.
Maybe one day. Maybe one day. That day's not
so. Let's move.
Wait, Ryan has bounced back. Why the hell would we move an elite defensive right fielder to first?
I mean,
Ryan's the man.
Why would you
turn
move
into a man?
One of the best defending right fielders in baseball? Like let's forget what he does with the bat.
The second best, no question about it. It's him and Mookie.
I mean, exactly. Like we've all seen.
Yeah, but
what
also,
can do.
if Judge is healthy, like you could arguably say he's better than Mookie. The health is a big if.
Bro, better than Mookie in the field?
No, I'm talking an all-around player.
I think Mookie's the second best player in baseball, so I don't.
Yeah, I mean, with Judge and Mookie, there's
wait. But I think when Aaron Judge is healthy, like we saw what he could do. Like we're talking,
no, of course,
300 over 50 home runs.
I think Judge is top 5 at the worst when he's healthy, but Mookie's all-around game is just so ridiculous that I think it's Trout then Mookie.
That's fair.
And I think there's a little bit of a drop off after that, and part of it might be health. Admittedly, but you saw what Mookie did in those playoffs, especially in the World Series. His athleticism in right field, his arm, his speed, his bat. He's a monster. So
I mean, don't forget a lot of the plays like Mookie was jumping for, like those are routine for Aaron.
No, I agree. I'm just saying, in general, like he just has a lot more range out there. Judge is really good, but Mookie just brings a couple more tools to the table. That's really the only difference. And he stays healthy.
Yeah. You can't move someone who's that good. I mean, you take Judge away from right field, then now you're going to start noticing a lot more people tagging up on balls to right field. I mean, there's just a lot more that goes on in the game. You do not move even with his height. I mean, you don't want to, it just doesn't make sense. I mean, the reason why sometimes the Dodgers put Bellinger at first base is because every time he dove in the outfield, he popped his own shoulder out. I mean, but also Bellinger's like a freak, especially like he's one of the fastest players in baseball. But I mean, with Judge, it just makes no sense to move him to first base because not only are you losing his glove in right, but his arm and just that overall presence. I mean, don't get me wrong, Clint Frazier was great, but who would you rather have in right field? Judge or Clint Frazier? Clint
Frazier could also be great in left field. Like I don't know why people are discrediting that.
I mean, you don't move.
Also, why does everyone have this like preconceived notion that you don't get injured at first base? Like, Judge's Judge's injuries. Judge has maybe one injury that came from him playing outfield.
I can't imagine Aaron Judge playing first base.
But think about it, like Aaron Judge's injury came in September, I think 2018 it was late 2019, where he dove for a ball and like hurt his ribs. That wasn't. Yeah. It's like, okay, that happens. And he was fine.
He got to dive at first.
Still hit a home run off Justin Verlander. Most of Aaron Judge's injuries have come like from running the bases, have come from him swinging awkwardly, just from him being a huge like monster and just like check swinging. It's not because he's playing right field.
Did you guys see the toe tap, by the way?
Yeah, but do you guys remember
the toe tap?
This is going to be kind of like
he was messing around like in a batting practice video, and he used like a little toe tap in his swing. I don't know if it's like something he's working on or it was just like a fun little joke thing. But
no, I think he is. I mean, it's a good 2-strike approach. But
I don't care what the hell he does. He needs to stay on the damn field.
I mean,
his hitting approach. There's nothing wrong with it. It's more of like a health thing.
Yeah.
But yeah, go on, Bram.
You're acting like that you can't get injured at first. I mean, when you think of first base, I mean, you see what G-Man Choi does. I mean, how he splits. Do you really want Judge literally going for a ball, like splitting and putting those? We've always seen all of this stuff has been those lower body injuries. And honestly, I'd rather, let's say you have Garrett Cole on the mound. What are the chances that ball is going to go to right versus on the ground on the infield? You don't want that man stretching. The guy I think of is Chris Parmelee. It's a weird name with the Yankees. He's the guy that.
Oh my God, didn't he play like 3
Brandon,
games?
why are you thinking about Chris Parmelee right now?
What?
Well, let me. All it takes is you say he can't get injured at first. All it takes is his spike not catching, and he messes up his lower body
No,
from first.
baseball. You're not gonna. The only way to protect Judge from not getting hurt entirely is to sit him. Like they're not gonna.
That's the only way.
You're not gonna move his position and suddenly he's like the most durable player. He's gonna play 162 games. Like that's not how this works.
Stanton was a full-time DH this year, and he still got hurt.
Yeah, that's not how it works. So I think you let Judge be the best or second, arguably the best defensive right fielder in the game. You pray that he works on his pregame routines and stays healthy as possible. A lot of his injuries have also been kind of fluky, like getting hit with the ball in the wrist. Like there's things that are sometimes not avoidable, and you just have to kind of roll with it and just hope that he recovers. And when he's come back, he's looked good. So we'll see. They're both healthy right now, so we'll see how it goes.
All I want for Christmas this year.
I mean, if there's anyone
how long
I can,
what was the longest stretch that we had both of them like healthy and like producing?
I don't even remember.
I think
tail
from
end
the
of 2019.
No, 2018 up until Judge broke his wrist.
Can you imagine
until,
this
like, June,
playoff
July?
Stanton?
Yeah.
Imagine this playoff Stanton mixed with earlier in the year Judge.
Bro. And like,
It's not that
it's
far
not
off.
even just
It was in the
playoff
same year.
Stanton. It was Stanton all year. Like Stanton was solid whenever he was on the field this year. Like obviously not playoff level Stanton, but still like astronomical.
The way he started
I
off the
think
year.
If there's anyone that you can see being moved to first base, and this is the big if, I mean, the chance of any of these guys being moved to first base is slim to none. But if there's anyone you could even like that less than 1% being moved to first base, the only guy I can think of is Gary Sanchez. If they want to kind of just preserve his bat, which is right now non-existent, that's the only guy because catchers sometimes, it's still like less than 1%.
There's
Just
nothing.
move
There's
Judge
nothing.
to catcher, bro.
No, move Judge to catcher, Stanton at shortstop, put Gary in center field.
There's no reason to move anybody's position except unless you're moving Glaber back to second and DJ to first or however they can. My main thing this offseason is Glaber Torres needs to be back at second base. I don't care how it's done, but we need to have Glaber back at second.
Hey, if anyone's playing shortstop out of our current infield right now, if let's say there's a way, this might be crazy, but if people don't like Glaber at short, fuck it. Put DJ at third, Glaber at second. Put Gio at short. He could play short. We've seen him.
Why?
No,
I'm just entertaining the idea. I'm not
shut up,
it.
Brandon.
But there's like options of people that you can bring in.
Well, yeah, no, I'm
for
just
cheap
saying.
enough. Like, if you don't want to bring in Lindor,
if it ain't broke, don't fix it. Like,
exactly. I mean,
yeah. Gio,
if anything,
do not move Gio.
The only way Torres is going to be moved away from shortstop is if we get Francisco Lindor, or if they somehow get Andrelton Simmons.
Well, yeah, you got to get someone who's elite at the position.
No, it needs to be a significant upgrade of defense at shortstop.
Yeah.
But I think they know that. I think, like, I did a little bit of research on Andrelton Simmons, like as far as connections to the Yankees when they announced that they were interested in him, and like it makes a lot of sense. Like Cashman tried to trade for him after Didi, or before he got Didi, when Jeter was retiring. And,
they were gonna trade Judge and Sevy, bro.
Oh,
yeah,
bro,
that was
don't
like
remind me of that trade.
Yeah.
So, but I'm saying like they've always had interest in this guy, and then like Billy Epler was the GM for the Angels. He's the one that brought in Simmons, and he was also a part of the Yankees. So like, there's probably a reason why the things are kind of matching up. I'm not 100% sure that that's going to happen, but it's definitely awesome.
Why can I see the Yankees actually doing this though? Freddie Galvis, bro, cheap budget option.
I'm not okay. I think he could be a good bench piece, but.
Yeah, sure, but I mean, the Yankees don't like his dreads, so he's a no.
He's gonna go to Philly. Watch, he's gonna take over for Didi.
Wait, didn't he used to?
Wasn't he already? Wasn't he on Philly before?
He was, and then he went to Toronto, and then went to Cincinnati.
He was on Philly for a while.
He was I think he started his career with Philly. He's so annoying with. That's why, we need to do an unhinged, free agent board prediction board.
Should. You guys know like those.
And like the winner will get something. I don't know. Like
you guys know like those tier rankings that everyone used to do, like for like candy and stuff. We should do one like ranking the free agents, like what class they're in.
Okay.
like S
Brett
class.
We can
Gardner's
do that.
in
We can
the
do
S
that
class.
live. We can do that live.
Yeah, no, that's what I'm saying. I think we should do that next episode.
So
'Cause I'll just
smart,
like pull
Patrick.
up Photoshop. I try to do my thing.
No, I think there's a website you do it for.
Yeah, they give you
Oh,
there's
really?
a link and you can like put in the names or whatever and then rank them. I don't
That
know how it
would
works.
be fun. That's gonna
Yeah.
be a fun family activity.
I mean,
Do I need a permission slip?
yeah, I'll email it to your mom. Don't worry. Go on, Brandon.
no, I mean, I just think at this point, the priorities: resign DJ, and then get at least one or two, ideally two. I'm not saying like aces, but just get. We cannot go into next year with Garrett. Well, of course, Garrett Cole's our ace, but then the drop off is Devi,
Who do you want to get
Monty.
though?
I mean,
Trevor Bauer.
if you can't get Bauer, I mean,
Yeah, but that's not going to happen. It's not going to happen though.
I know.
I mean, Bauer.
Realistically, who you want to get?
I mean, Odorizzi would be kind of like a flyer you could take a chance on. We already lost our chance with Morton. If Morton was, I think, a really good pick. I mean, Anthony DeSclafani would be like a flyer you could at least attempt
yeah,
for.
but can we stop, bro? Now I'm gonna get heated again because, like, why are we going at? Like, I'm not saying Anthony DeSclafani is trash, but
I'm just saying,
why are we not
besides
going after Trevor Bauer?
You know why?
I mean,
though?
But okay, the Yankees.
Ooh.
All right, now I'm about to rant for the second time in one episode. Blows my
What?
mind, bro. The Yankees are literally like the billionaire that likes to shop at Old Navy. Like, I'm not saying that Old Navy's bad. Like, when you see Bill Gates walking around in like his $20 sweater from Old Navy, like, that's what the Yankees want to be. They want to be like that billionaire that doesn't show their wealth. And like, I understand the mentality because like you see all these billionaires doing that, but like, spend some money, bro. Like Steve Cohen, major respect to him. Jalen, I know like you're not the biggest.
No, I'm a fan of his.
bandwagoner right now.
I'm a fan of his, but I need to see.
I
more.
love what he's doing.
Me too.
Like
I love
he's literally turning like because Major League Baseball as a whole, every organization for the most part has just become so corporate over the
Mhm.
past, I want to say like 5 years, and it's a huge part of MLB losing the younger generation. It's just not become fun anymore. And
I
they
agree.
go with the whole let the kids play mantra, and then you have the whole Tatis bat flip saga. His own manager doesn't even defend him, whatever. But you have a guy like Steve Cohen, who I kind of feel like is taking the corporateness out of baseball, and he's making the Mets fun again. Like
Yeah.
he's just embracing that team atmosphere and embracing a winning mentality that the Yankees have lost. And I think we won't get that back until the Steinbrenners sell the team, and who knows when that's going to happen.
We might not be alive for that.
We probably won't be, honestly, because I think Hal has two sons, right?
Hopefully,
Yeah,
they're smarter
but
than him.
I don't know if like it's just so weird. I can't imagine like anybody else owning the Yankees. Like I can't imagine. We've grown up with the Steinbrenners being the owners of the Yankees, so it's kind of hard to imagine like the
Is it
Yankees
just
being put
us
up for
thing, though?
sale.
Like,
What do
is
you
it
mean?
just us who like hate the Steinbrenners and think that they're like cheap
I mean,
bastards, or is it like
up in,
the Yankee fan base as a whole that believes this?
I think it was up until they signed Cole, and actually, I was not expecting them to drop as much as they did for Cole. I think my prediction last year was like they were gonna just say no to 9 years, but then they pretty much gave him 10 years because if Cole wants to opt out, which he won't, they can just add another year of like 32 million. But I think up until then, after it got really frustrating after you let Corbin go to the Nationals. But I mean,
And
would
Scherzer
be-
go to the Nationals. Don't forget that.
I think it's
It would-
mixed though. I think it's very split. I think you have guys that I think you have fans of the Yankees who are I don't care who's in our jerseys win. Like that's all I really care about. I don't care if it's our prospects, I don't care if we paid them, I don't care if we traded for them. I don't care how they came to the Yankees as long as they bring a World Series ring. I feel like that's us, right? We're very on the side of if you need to pay this guy this amount of money and he's going to put us over the top, pay him. If you need to trade our best prospects to get the guy that's going to bring us to the World Series, I don't care. Like that's what we're concerned with. We're not concerned with like in 15 years what's our luxury tax going to look like. Then you have I think the internet kind of ruined a lot of fandom because you have fans that think they're GMs and like we all kind of in a way act like that, which is fine, but like I mean to the extent where they think they're like analytical like nerd GMs where they're like on these websites that calculate luxury tax and all this different bullshit that we should not have any care about because it's not our money. And we're like, oh, I don't want to sign this guy because he's going to cut into our luxury tax and we're going to lose a competitive balance, like second round pick. Who gives a fuck? Like, since when, like, imagine not signing Garrett Cole because you're going to, like, do you think that first or third round pick that the Yankees missed out on is going to be Garrett Cole? Absolutely.
Bro,
absolutely
that's
the fuck
thing.
not. So, like, why do we have fans that are sitting here, like, counting a billionaire's money and just, like, worried about prospects and prospect hugging? And I think that 2016 season kind of fucked it up a lot also because we got all these prospects and there was excitement about our farm system again. And then we just, like, didn't we didn't trade really any of them. So it's like we traded, like, Blake Rutherford. Like, it wasn't we didn't cash in on most of these guys, so we still have, like, guys like Esteban Florio and like even Mike Ford, Tyro Estrada, Tyler Wade, guys that were just never supposed to be as great, like Trance Adams, who we DFA'd, guys who we could have cashed in, Miguel Andujar, but we just kind of let them sit around. So I think that combination of things has split the fan base.
Yeah. I think
I agree.
It would have been interesting to see if there wasn't COVID. Let's say they didn't have an excuse to say about the money, how they would have gone this year spending money. I mean, who knows?
Love COVID, bro. Perfect excuse.
I do think the Phillies are 100% lying, saying they lost The Phillies were like they lost $2 billion.
No, they proved that wrong. They said it was 145.
Like
yeah, their owner
said they lost $2 billion.
Their owner came out and said they lost $2 billion, and then someone in their financial department was like, "Well, that's just."
Are they even worth $2 billion?
I don't know. That's what someone says. Like, it's hard to believe that the Yankees and the Dodgers, they put like a span of like when the Yankees and Dodgers made $2 billion. Like, it's hard to believe that the Phillies lost that much. Like, in just like fan revenue.
Question. Let's say. Let's put the hypothetical situations up. Let's say the Indians ask for Jason Dominguez, and then Cashman says no. Let's say you could get Trevor Story without having to give up Jason Dominguez. What would your package be? If you could get Trevor Story into the Bronx, what would your ideal package be?
Anybody, bro. Anybody. Like, I think
Jason Dominguez is probably – no, yeah. I think Jason Dominguez is probably the only guy who I wouldn't blame them for – not moving, because they think he can, like, that's the difference. It's like we saw Gleyber Torres. Sorry to interrupt you, Pat, but like this just really pissed me off. Gleyber Torres, we knew when Gleyber Torres came in, everyone was like, okay, this guy is going to be like a middle infielder for our future. He's going to be an all-star for a very long time, potential MVP candidate. So we're not trading him. Understandable. And the people that they were offering for him were ridiculous. Matt Boyd, Marcus Stroman, like we're not trading Gleyber Torres for that. However, the guys that like Chance Adams, guys like Miguel Andujar, even guys like Clint Frazier, who we were like kind of, or the Yankees were kind of like, yeah, they're great. They're hyping them up a little bit, and just like we low key know they're not going to be like ridiculous. Clint Frazier has done a lot of work and gotten a lot better, but Jason Dominguez is a guy they gave $5 million to. He's 16, 17 years old. They genuinely think he's going to be like the next prime superstar, like insane, ridiculous player, centerpiece of the roster. So I'm okay with them not trading him. But I don't think if you're not trading for Francisco Lindor, and I put Francisco Lindor over Trevor Story for the main reason that he's
1,000%.
a better defender, he's faster, and he has a lefty pop.
Yeah.
Just off those reasons alone, Trevor Story is amazing. But if you're not trading for Lindor, I think you just maybe either let Gleyber play shortstop, get a stopgap shortstop like Simmons or whoever for 1 year, and then go into the free agent market next year and get your guy, whether it's Story, Corey Seager, Lindor, whoever it is. And then you don't have to, all you have to pay them is money.
Seager's a free agent at the end of next year, right?
Yeah,
he's a free agent with all these other shortstops, like because that's Correa. It's like the prime shortstop class.
Oh, give me anyone but
because
Correa,
I can 1,000%.
Correa should be a third baseman. I'm just putting that out there.
Yeah,
I can
saw him Team Puerto Rico.
I can 1,000% see the Dodgers letting Seager walk because they finally open up the room for Gavin Lux to finally play.
Yeah. But he'll go.
I'm actually surprised he didn't play this year.
Yeah, I mean.
Yeah,
but they didn't need him. Like,
yeah, no, I know.
I'll be cool with Corey Seager if the Yankees get him.
I love Corey Seager. The
That
dude's
guy's a
clutch
monster.
as hell, too.
Yeah, I'll
I mean,
take him.
It's just like I think the Yankees. It's weird because this is kind of the last statement I'm going to make on this tonight. But the Yankees are usually like so keen on like a player's like mental capability. And it seems like we've just been encountering players over the past few years that just don't have that mental aspect in their head. Now,
Need a therapist, as you said.
whether if it's Sonny Gray, he clearly didn't have the mental capacity to make it in New York. Whether we're talking Gary Sanchez, he clearly doesn't have the consistency to make it in New York. Miguel Andujar, consistency. At some point, you have to start looking at the organization, top to bottom. If you got to go all the way down to the academy that they have in the Dominican Republic, where they basically form these players mentally, physically, emotionally, maybe you got to start looking there because clearly something's not working with all these guys that they're developing.
Can you pull up
think
this
a lot
comment? Can you pull up this comment, Pat?
I
Which
think
one?
people. I think with
LAFC?
Andujar.
Yeah,
With Andujar,
I don't understand. Hold on, Brandon. Let me just respond to this really quick. I just think this is a very listen. That's like saying why bring in good players because like you can't just load up.
But the money, Jalen, the money.
Like that just doesn't make any sense. You need a good defense to win. That defense also wins championships. Like you don't just get good pitching because you want it. Like good pitching has to be available for you to acquire it. And that's not always necessarily the case, especially if we're being realistic, as we keep coming back to, especially like me and Pat talk about all the time. Like, of course we want Bauer. We're not going to get him. Be realistic. Like, are we trading a decent package for like Lance Lynn? Is that what you want to do instead of signing a bona fide superstar? Like, no, you have to sometimes make up for what you can't get. Be realistic. And no one ever said they're going to get Carlos Correa or Javi Baez. That's not going to happen. But Francisco Lindor is a franchise-changing player. So is Trevor Story. So I think that's very silly. It's like you say you want a controllable shortstop, but that's not
Lopez is
that's not the case right now. You can't just.
Lopez.
That's what we do with pitching. We do the same thing with pitching. We get these stopgap pitchers, and we're like they'll be controllable. Like who gives a fuck?
He just called LA Yankee King a shit cricket.
Wait. I have a question. We're all like, batting average doesn't mean anything, but I don't want a guy that fails to hit above 280 in on base. And
I would say batting average doesn't mean anything.
Yeah,
I mean,
can we stop that narrative?
Irrelevant.
That's such like an analytic nerd narrative. Batting average matters, otherwise they wouldn't count it.
Exactly.
Obviously, on base percentage matters more.
Of course,
but batting average still counts.
Yeah, it still matters.
This guy, in his career,
Who's this guy? Nicky Lopez?
Nicky Lopez. We're
giving him too much clout. We're giving him too much clout.
We don't care about Nicky Lopez. Nicky Lopez gone. Nicky Lopez done. Hashtag Nicky Lopez.
And why do you
get out of here?
Why do you care about the Yankees payroll? Like this is what I was talking about before. Like why do you care how much the Yankees are paying players?
The last comment I'm gonna make tonight. I'm gonna look into the camera.
Oh God.
I feel like you're looking into my soul.
You know what happens when I look into the camera? Shit gets real. Same thing happened when I predicted the Higashioka water on my head.
Predicted.
I told you that.
Predicted.
I told you that.
I predicted that.
Who in the blue hell is Nicky Lopez?
The New York Yankees are not the Oakland Athletics. They can spend money. We're talking about one of the richest franchises in sports in the world. In planet Earth, bro.
It's the Cowboys and then the Yankees.
Bro, if aliens exist, which I think they do, like they probably do.
Have you seen that shit?
The thing in Utah?
Bro, it's now in a new place now. It's now in a new place.
Calm down.
Let's get back on track.
This is an X-Files podcast. But what I'm saying, let's say aliens have a fucking baseball league in Mars, right? The Yankees are still richer than those teams. They can spend money. Hal Steinbrenner's worth billions of dollars. They can spend money. Let's stop pushing this narrative that they're playing Moneyball because it's stupid.
I'm gonna give $5 million on a. They spent. If you're worried about their payroll, we spent $5 million on a 16-year-old potential superstar. I mean,
never played professional baseball in his life.
They literally spent every single penny of their entire international signing money for that year on one player.
Yo, you guys want to have a? You guys want to have a conspiracy theory podcast?
No, but before you didn't show this, but one person did say we should also have lives about football. Someone did say that as well.
All right, so
Oh, I'm
all right,
down.
let me add this to my list. Football live streams,
Yes.
conspiracy theory live streams.
We need to
Because
do
New York Giants are in first place.
the Giants are. Oh, we could talk about this later. But yeah,
Yeah, we'll talk about this on the football live stream. Once the Giants make the Super Bowl, like we'll live stream the Super Bowl.
Pat, do you
I'll,
watch
I'll
football?
go there.
Pat
Like,
still
not
thinks
really.
Josh Norman is on the Panthers.
Yeah,
To him,
you
as
trying
long as
me
it-
to serve receiver like Crabtree? I forgot the rest.
That's Richard Sherman.
But yeah,
That
no,
was in,
wait,
like,
but he had beef
2012.
with Josh Norman, right?
Odell
No,
Beckham
Odell
Jr.
Beckham had issues with Josh
Listen.
Norman.
This is we'll catch you up off camera so you don't look silly, and then when you come to the
Hashtag
live,
who
you
the
look
hell is
prepared.
Nicky Lopez?
Yeah.
I'm about to do MLB The Show and trade for Nicky Lopez and see what happens.
What team is he on? The White Sox?
The Royals.
I don't know.
Bro, Nicky Lopez. We should get him on the podcast.
I mean,
Just like how we got
Nikki,
John Ford.
tell us about yourself. Tell us about yourself,
I mean,
Nikki, because we
if
don't
you're
know.
gonna-
We don't know anything.
I don't know
if
who
you're
you
even
are,
going
bro.
to consider getting someone from the Royals, there's only one player you get, and that's Whit Merrifield. But they're not going to get rid of Whit Merrifield.
I don't want Whit Merrifield.
He's
I'm
a
just
good
saying-
hitter, though.
Yeah, but he's ugly.
What?
Let's get.
Yo, that
We had
pause,
Graylick
bro.
Valera on our team in 2019.
So
Look,
you
but did
think
you see his
DJ
eyes?
LeMahieu's an attractive man?
DJ LeMahieu is a 12-year-old on stilts.
Bro, DJ LeMahieu
Yo,
literally has
dude.
a fucking elementary
Now he's
school
not
haircut.
re-signing, Jalen. Thanks.
Sorry, DJ.
Dude.
DJ, if you're watching, I didn't mean that. Actually, you know what? He probably is asleep
And to
right
what
now. It's past
Futai
his
said,
bedtime.
the Giants have the tiebreaker because they beat the Washington football team twice this year. Daniel
also-
Jones is dead.
Bro, I'll save this for the football podcast, but like, bro, that's a shitty ass name. Like, first of all,
Dan
like,
Snyder
I
just
They
doesn't
might
care
keep
about
it.
him.
They might
They
keep.
might keep.
that's so stupid. Like, I understand like you want to change your team's name, but like, don't just do it if you don't have a plan moving forward.
They
Like,
could
they're
win
just,
with
like-
so many. They had so many options. Like, just go with
Yo.
something.
They
You mean
only
to tell me
did
they couldn't
that.
agree on anything.
They
They
only
don't
did
even
that
have a
because
logo.
you had to physically force Dan Snyder, their
A
owner,
W.
to change the name. You had to
Yeah.
literally force him. He's if you think Hal Steinbrenner is a bad owner, talk to Washington football team.
I don't.
fans.
Okay, I don't think Hal Steinbrenner is a bad owner. I think he's a cheap owner. I
Yeah.
think there's a very big difference. He's
Which
competent.
makes him bad.
No, but okay. The difference is being a New York sports fan, especially how much attention I pay to other sports. There are some really bad owners in other sports,
Oh yeah.
and you can't really even compare it to the ownership that the Yankees have. The Yankees are cheap, and we
James
consider
Dolan.
it bad. Yeah, we consider the Yankees ownership cheap and bad because we know how much money they could spend, but they're a very competent organization.
No,
One
I
of
know.
the
but
most
on the flip
competent
side,
organizations.
on
But
the
you
flip
have-
side, there's
you
also
have-
much better owners out there.
No, of course, but like we determine good ownership based on like aggressiveness and winning.
Yeah.
But a lot of owners will legitimately have players not come to their team because of just them, which is you're ruining your organization. Like
Yeah. James
if you like James Dolan is everyone in the NBA knows how bad of an owner he is. The Jets ownership has always been bad. Like the Mets ownership was always bad. Like so I think that's why it's such a huge shock that you have a guy like Steve Cohen now. But yeah, I wouldn't say Hal Steinbrenner is a bad owner. He could be a lot better.
Once
But
then he's like a 4.7.
I'll give him like a 4 to 6 depending on the moves they make that year.
I think there's times where he knows he needs to spend money, but I feel like a lot of the times he'll like take the think of it like football. He's too easy to throw the check down route when you have someone that if you make a good throw, you can get it down the field.
People
Yeah, like-
also underestimate Brian Cashman's role in this. I know we kind of let him off the hook a lot because
Yeah.
we're
No, I
like,
agree.
well, Hal Steinbrenner has to approve it. Yeah, but Brian Cashman has to bring the potential deals to him. And Brian Cashman recently has been known to hug prospects and because he knows he has that budget in the back of his head. He's like, I'm not even going to bring this to Hal Steinbrenner. So, and like some of the comments Brian Cashman makes sometimes are a little questionable. Like, why would you potentially shut out?
He's a little
Like
sus.
what he says about Marcus Stroman, it's like, okay, if you don't want to sign him, that's fine, but why publicly like bash a
Yeah.
guy? You know what I mean? But
Yeah, they're all. a
I
little
think it's
sus,
equal
if we're
parts.
being honest.
They're equal parts annoying and frustrating. But
But yeah.
I finished my
want-
Smarties, guys.
Listen, I want to say it's gonna wrap things up for us tonight. And over an hour, boys. Come on, round of applause. Round of applause. I gave a
You
round
guys-
of applause to
Are
myself.
you guys ready for Wednesday afternoon football this week?
No, I'm not
No.
watching that.
No,
Wednesday
okay.
The only reason I
afternoon-
might watch it I'm gonna watch it because Justin Tucker is playing, and he's the last person in my fantasy matchup that I need to win to get into the playoffs.
Justin Tucker.
You know Justin. Okay, thank God you know Justin Tuck at least.
I know Justin Tuck.
Justin Tuck like went around to a bunch of public schools when we were in elementary school. He came to mind with Ryan Grant on the Packers when I was in like 3rd grade, and they like played catch with us and shit. It was fun.
Wow.
Anyway,
Put that on your resume too.
It would have
So
been funnier if you said JPP.
didn't he lose a
Nah.
finger from fireworks?
Yes,
lost
he
a
did,
couple.
and that's why all recently on Twitter, when the Saints played the Bucks, the ball was in his hands and he dropped it. So all on Twitter, everyone was
Alright.
like, maybe
You're
if
going
he
to
had a
hell,
full.
bro.
Ryan
Yeah, nah,
Garcia's
you're
a
going to
Browns
hell, bro.
fan. Ryan, grow up. We talked about this. You can't be a Browns fan.
Yo, maybe
Think
he's
about
just
it.
a Johnny
Just say
Manziel fan, bro.
Say that sentence out loud and rethink everything.
All right.
Can't be
It's
a
gonna
Browns.
wrap things. No, but
The
Ryan was on
Browns.
such a hot streak. Take it back. Take it back.
Yeah,
He's
but
good
that's a
kid.
chink in his armor. I want to make sure that he's sharp at all times.
Well,
Like Pat,
wait,
say,
how
right, say,
long?
say right now.
Oh, so he's been
Baker
a fan since
Mayfield's your
Baker Mayfield.
guy?
Okay, you can't call yourself a Browns fan if you weren't there when the team went 1-32 over the span of like 2 years.
Ew. Baker Mayfield sucks.
Wait, what's wrong with
Say
Baker
out-
Mayfield?
Pat, he sucks. He's very bad.
Isn't he
quarterback.
like a good Johnny Manziel?
No,
Johnny Manziel was
was
dog shit.
Johnny Manziel was
That's why I said a
terrible,
good
and
one.
Baker.
Jo-
No, Johnny Manziel was bad, and Baker Mayfield is very not good.
All right,
Johnny
but he's better than
Manziel
Manziel.
is the prime example
Yes.
of a quarterback that only performed well in college because of his talent. And
Ryan,
once he was put in the
look at-
NFL, when
look
people
at
do
Cleveland. Look at the Cleveland Browns offensive roster. If he didn't have 17 TDs and 7 interceptions, I would hope that his head would be on a stick outside of Cleveland Browns.
Jalen.
Ryan's annoying me because Ryan has so much potential, and he's falling into the Baker Mayfield trap. Like, listen, listen,
my team has
Baker
the
Mayfield
fastest
has
quarterback in
potential.
football.
He can grow. Listen, Baker Mayfield can grow and he can get better, but right now he sucks. That offense should be the best offense in football, and he's just. Did you not see the pass that he missed the other day? I think it was to Austin Hooper.
God.
The guy was wide
Oh my
open
God.
in the middle of the end zone, and he threw it over his head. He does that maybe 3 times a game. He fumbles too much. He throws too many picks. And the fact
I
that
gotta
the
look
Browns
this up.
are 8-3 make me want to throw up because they have beaten bad teams barely, and the Giants should have.
Before we end, the 3 losses they have, they've been blown out. I mean, they literally the final score is 27-25. Mike fucking Glennon was the quarterback for the Jacksonville Jaguars, not Gardner Minshew, not Jake Luton. Mike,
He's on
Glennon.
the Buccaneers, right?
He was.
He's
Yeah.
not anymore, but yeah.
All right. Well,
This is what happens
kinda
when nothing happens with the Yankees.
Yeah. All right. Brian Cashman, Hal Steinberg, do something.
Giants
So
actually
we went over an hour tonight.
The tender thing is coming up soon. Guys.
Wednesday. Yes,
Non-tender.
Wednesday. We will see you guys live on
Very
Wednesday. But tonight was our longest live stream since the playoffs ended. So beautiful, beautiful night. Everyone, thank you for joining us. Over an hour. Ryan Garcia, you're the man. George Chamberlain. Shout out to Nick. Shout out to everyone who stayed in the chat. Shout out Futai. Shout out Yankee Gang. We love all of you guys in your own special way. Yeah, so we'll be live again on Wednesday night. Not sure if we're gonna have the same crew, but you'll definitely see me there. So yeah, everyone have a good night. Don't forget, follow, like, subscribe on whatever platform you're watching on: Facebook, YouTube, Twitter. And Jalen's double hatting it. He's double fisting the hats with some Listerine. Nice purple bottle. Isn't it usually blue?
It's cute, right? It is.
Yeah, it's
But this
kinda
one
fire.
is Total Care. So
That's pretty fire.
Gotta
That's
take-
pretty fire.
gotta
What do you
take
guys
care of
want to
it.
end it off with tonight? I have a good
Do
idea.
you have a video of you pouring water on your head?
No, but
these
since
guys
we're
are going
talking
off
about-
in the chat.
Really?
Hashtag Patrick.
Nick and George are going off in the chat.
Hashtag warm
Nikki
cookies.
Lopez
Hashtag shut up. Raymond.
sucks. All right, well, shout out Nikki Lopez too. But I have a good video to end it off with. since
Shout
we're
out
talking about hat
Sleepy
sizes. Oh my god! All right, we will see you guys on Wednesday night.
Brandon, come on.
Wednesday night at 9 p.m. and have a good night,
Sure.
everybody.
For the Yankees. And if I fucking see Brett Gardner in game 1, if I fucking bro, go fuck yourself.